Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple123 Trader. This is a weekly outlook for the week of November 21st to the 26th. Current time is 11 minutes after the 11th hour on the Pacific Coast, which is 2:11 Eastern Time and AM in the morning. All right. Hope everybody's doing well and are safe. Taking a look at what's setting up for this week and looking at the futures, the currencies and indices in the and Forex futures as well. Okay, looking at Aussie US dollar futures, still overall in a downtrend, and looking at the overall structure here, I can only see prices moving down. So any pullbacks are opportunities to sell. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking at. Any type of pullback, an opportunity to sell the Australian dollar against any other currencies to the downside. All right, so that's Aussie, and from last week, the same analysis. We were looking for continued movements to the downside. Any movements to the upside were opportunities to sell, and it's the same thing playing out for this week as well. Now you can see we're coming very close to the support area and a first support area, so we could come in here, we could get a push back up, but again, opportunities to sell into any movements to the upside. All right, so that's Aussie US, Aussie futures. Okay, and let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the weekly has had quite the run, and as I pointed out last week as well, we would break new highs in the previous weeks and then have a pullback, and this is what's happening now. So look for continued weakness as we go into this week. And let's go to daily and take a closer look. So what I'm seeing now is that movement to the upside from this point is complete, and now we are on the way down. So any movements to the upside for Bitcoin are opportunities to sell back down, and we could be easily coming back down into this area or even lower, maybe down into this area here. So weakness in Bitcoin, we probably see it coming down into the low 50s by the week's end here. That's totally possible. We could see a stick around up here as well first before it does drop, but looking for continued weakness in Bitcoin. Okay, let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil, which has been on quite a tear to the upside, is now taking a little bit of a move back down. So you can see what it's doing. From the weekly here, we've pushed to the upside, but we come back down to a resistance, which is now support. So we could expect a bounce off this area here to the upside again for crude oil. So coming in a little closer on the daily, okay, we can see that move back down into the support resistance area. And although it still looks like we could continue much further down, we could get a bounce first, and then we could drop one more time. We could certainly come back down to this area before we go again. But right now, looking pretty weak. So any movements to the upside would be also opportunities to sell into crude oil. But again, it'd be short-lived because winter is coming, and I think that this is going to give strength to crude oil going forward as everyone in the winter zones would need more energy. Okay, let's take a look at the US dollar. Okay, on the weekly. So US dollar, quite a tear to the upside right now. So looking very strong. And from the weekly there, you can see that we are coming into support resistance. It used to be support, and now it's resistance, this whole area. So we're pushing up into that area. So there's a little bit of room there for price to continue to the upside. And this is looking fairly strong. We could get a little bit of a sideways movement in here, but it looks like we're going to continue to the upside. So any kind of pullback in here would be opportunities to buy into US dollar strength going into this week. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum. Okay, so on the weekly for Ethereum, still dogged in this trench that it's been in. And like I said, it was probably going to stay in this area for a while, and the trend overall trajectory is to the downside, but we could be in sideways mode here for a while. And you can see we're just up and down in this area and not looking to buy or sell at this moment in time. This is something you have to be patient and wait out a break. So not like in Bitcoin or Ethereum for a buy or a sell at this point in time. Okay, let's take a look now at gold. Okay, so gold. Gold has, this is on the weekly, we've come down back down to a support area here, and we've bounced off and formed this nice pattern that's taken us up to the upside. Here is a resistance at this level, previous support all the way across. So we're looking for continued move to the upside for gold. Looks like we have lots of strength since we broke this level. We can also draw a line this way. We've broken those through that. So we're looking for more upside to gold. Looking on the daily, you can see quite the push to the upside here. We've had a big move. So we're pulling back a little bit, but here's the area of support, which was previous resistance. So yes, we could come back down into this area, but any pullbacks would be opportunities to buy into gold going into this week. Okay, so lots of strength in gold going forward. All right, let's take a look at Litecoin. Sure, let's take a look at Litecoin. Let's see on the weekly. Litecoin has made quite a move from the 140 area and pushed right up, to 300. Now it's pulled back. So what's the next move for Litecoin? It's looking like because of the strong move from here and to there, and now we've pulled back into that same zone. I would foresee either a breach to the downside, which would mean that this structure is totally going to collapse, or we're going to bounce from this area to up to the upside. So right now we're in weakness. So if we breach these lows, then we're certainly going to be heading to the downside. If we bounce, this could be short-lived as well, coming back up into this area, and then we're heading down. So one or the other is going to play out. If you're looking at Litecoin, be patient and wait for a move either to the downside or back to the upside before jumping in. Okay, so that's Litecoin. Let's take a look at the British pound. Sure, let's take a look at British. Oh boy, British pound. So that bar that we just saw there on the daily was that news bar from interest rates the last week or a week ago or so. So British pound, lots of weakness. So we'll be looking to continue selling into this downward trajectory. So we've broken through the support, and looks like it still has a little bit more down. If we breach the lows, then all bets are off. We're still going to be heading to the downside. So it looks like we could be doing that. So any bounces would be opportunities to sell into British pound to the downside. Okay, what else can we look at here? Okay, now let's take a look at the Russell 2000. These are the smaller mid-cap stocks, and on the weekly, we clawed through this channel, and now we're pushing to the upside. So we've had a pullback, go back into the channel. However, this could be short-lived, and we should be heading back up. So looking for opportunities. As you can see, this move here and this larger move, we're almost coming back down into this area, and it looks like we could get a push back up, and then we could drop back down one more time. So be careful. Do not be too eager to jump in. Wait for the opportunities to set up. Our members at Simple 123 understand what they're looking for in structures like this. And so be aware of where you are in the overall structure and take advantage of those kind of setups. Let's take a look at the Dow. In the Dow, you can see it's almost identical to what the Russell is doing. So with that in mind, on the weekly, we're still heading to the upside. We've got a little bit of a pullback. So a little bit of a pullback means take an opportunity to catch any moves from the pullback and go to the upside. So we're right back into that area here. So we'd be looking for a bounce, but be careful, we could still drop further, maybe back down into this area before we get that bounce. So be aware of that setting up. And we can even look at this on, drop down to a lower level, like the 4-hour, and take a look at this movement, and you can see whether or not we're complete the movement to the downside. And as it looks right now, it doesn't look like we are. We could still drop down one more time into this support area here. All right, so be watchful of that. Now, the S&P 500 would be similar to those two. Let me just click that again. So you can see on the weekly, we are still heading very strongly to the upside. On the daily, pushing still to the upside. And we are getting close to a point where this is going to turn. I can see that setting up as I'm talking here. So on the 4-hour, we've been heading up for quite a while, but it looks like we might be running out of steam. So we could be getting something. If we breach this level, then all bets are off. We're heading straight up, but we could be failing and coming back down in quick order this week. So be watchful of that. All right. So that's a look at most of these futures. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, U.S. technology and all kinds of stuff, but I'm in 12 minutes into this. Don't want to take too much of your time. Profitable trading to everyone. Be safe out there. I'm done now. Thank you.